there, clan, and welcome to my standouts of the year. This is going to be what I'm going to try and do every year. Every year I always try and do something involving like my games of the year or my thoughts on the year, and this is one's going to be more the games that I enjoyed this year, but I'm calling it the standouts because these are the games that I think have stood out this year. These are the games that I think are the games that I want to see adapted and maybe are stepping in the right direction when it comes to gaming for my style, at least the way I like it, and the way I'd like to see my particular style of gaming go in the future, not the entire industry, but just the way things are going. Now, this isn't a game of the year or anything like this. This is just games that I feel deserve mentioning, that deserve standouts, that in my opinion are great examples of gaming in 2015. Now, I will do a disclaimer at the start of this. I have not played every game this came out the year. I've not played every expansion, I've not played everything, I just didn't have the money. I've only played a small amount of games this year, and that is of course reflective of my thoughts, of course. I haven't played every single game, and I'm only counting games that I have played, completed, or at least have played enough of that I can at least give my thoughts on. So, how it's going to work is I'm going to give each game that I want to talk about its own video. And I am going to try and be as spoiler free as I can when it comes to these things if they involve story, just because I feel it's very important that it remains vague enough that if you haven't checked out a game that I'm talking about, that you will at least give it a chance and at least go try it out, because I would not do a video individually on it if I didn't think it was worth playing. So, without further ado, we're going to dive into it. Now, I'm not going to just do an intro. This video here is in the introduction to this standout, but also the honourable mention of this year. A game that I feel deserves mentioning, but I don't think is a standout game of this year. Isn't a game that I think is the way I want gaming to go. That game is Batman Arkham Knight. Now don't get me wrong, I love the Arkham series. I absolutely love it. This is the Arkham trilogy. Origins is a separate thing to me personally, so I'm counting this as a trilogy. Arkham Knight is the epic conclusion to the Arkham series created by, made famous, and of course perfected by Rocksteady. They took the idea of bad comic book games and that showed that you can make a good comic book superhero game with Batman Arkham Asylum, and then Arkham City, and now Arkham Knight. Now, let me just state this off the bat, I am mostly talking about the console version of Arkham Knight. I got the PlayStation 4 version, not the PC version, which I know is incredibly buggy and is still being fixed to this day apparently. But I do feel it still deserves a shout out this year, and it deserves an honorable mention just because of how it is. It is the end of the Arkham series. Rocksteady have made it clear that they don't really want to work on Batman anymore. They want to move on to a different subject matter, which is completely fine. And I still think Arkham Knight is a good game. It had a good story, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it definitely plays with the player. I will admit it kind of takes a little bit of a fourth wall kind of thing and plays with the player's expectation, integrating story and also gameplay into the set of like the same mechanic, which I really liked about it. It's also a good looking game, and also I will not lie, it is incredibly fun driving around the Batmobile, even though it is the Bat Tank, not the Batmobile. And I will admit, the only thing that really, one of the worst things of course about the game is of course the season pass, which has been very lackluster. It's mostly been skins, challenge packs, and the story DLCs that have been released have not been in interest. Now, Season of Information and all that I might end up checking out, but I feel as though the standalone game Arkham Knight is still worth shouting out, still worth giving at least a bit of recognition. That I think that if you are a fan of the Arkham series, definitely get it on console. It is a good game, I enjoyed it. Without spoiling anything, of course, I highly recommend it. It is Kevin Conroy and the other voice acting cast do an exceptional job. Now, even though the story is not great, it is not an epic conclusion. It's not the perfect conclusion to the Arkham series that I was hoping it would be. It's at least a decent conclusion that I'm just like, if someone was to continue the series and it wasn't Rocksteady, I'd be okay with it. I still think it is worth checking out. I still think it's a good game this year, and I still think it is worth playing. Other than that, I just felt as though it deserved an honourable mention, even though it isn't in my standouts of the year. And of course, that's pretty much all I have to say on that without getting into too many spoilers. Other than that, let's continue the series and move on to the next video and talk about a game that, well, is a bit of more of a plague style, shall we say. I'll see you in the next video.